Gothic, yes. A game so unfair it'll hit you up at 5 in the morning. After a night out, come over, sit on the edge of your bed like it just wants to talk, then suddenly leave, only to text you 10 minutes later and call you a pussy for not making the first move. It dropped in 2001, made by a German studio called Piranha Bytes, who, based on the dialogue, probably locked 6 interns in a basement with nothing but cigarettes and vodka and told them to do their best. It's an open world RPG where your first enemy isn't a monster or a bandit. It's the controls and the immediate urge to uninstall. You play as the nameless hero, which is perfect because having a name would imply somebody gives a shit whether you live or die. You are fresh meat, tossed into a prison colony where everyone's either high as fuck, homicidal, or trying to sell you a protection racket for 5 ore and a handjob. The world is hostile. The monsters one-tap you, and every NPC talks to you like they've already buried 5 newbies called Nameless and don't feel like learning a 6th.
Hey, you! I told you to take some water to the peasants.
It was a good fight. Never do that again.
Combat is awesome. Awkward attack animations, invisible hitboxes, and inputs that gaslight you in real time. But if you look past the jank, past the fun, bad intro cutscene and discount voice acting, you will find a game that was genuinely ahead of its time. The NPCs have real personality, the world reacts to your choices, and the enemy variety puts 90% of modern RPGs to shame. Play it for long enough, and it will Stockholm Syndrome you into thinking it's better than Skyrim. And, in a way, you'll be right. Welcome to Gothic, where every decision matters, and every mistake ends with you getting shanked behind a hut because you accidentally pressed spacebar at the wrong time, or mauled by a gang of dinosaurs because you didn't want to test your luck against the level 1000 ice golem. The story is simple. As stated before, you are a nameless beta cuck who gets arrested for an unspecified crime and is handed a mission to deliver a letter to some wizards called the Fire Mages. And before you can ask any further questions, you get booed off a cliff, fall into a pond, and immediately get jumped by a guy named Bullet and his goons.
Welcome to the colony.
That has to be the weakest, most underwhelming punch in video game history. Luckily for you, this guy, Diego, shows up at the right time and saves your ass. So, the king is at war with the orcs, and like any great ruler, he comes up with the brilliant strategy of enslaving every criminal in the kingdom, putting them into a prison colony, sealed inside a magical dome, and forcing them to mine a material called the ore. He needs this ore to make swords and armor for his army. The wizards, the same ones who made the dome, accidentally trapped themselves inside it. Great job. Shortly after, the prisoners naturally take over the place and stop mining. The king really needs that ore, so realizing he can't just nuke the dome, decides to negotiate. In exchange for the ore, he starts sending monthly supply drops. Food, booze, maybe women? Anyways, inside the colony, 3 factions rise. The old camp, who still trade and sell their ore to the king. The new camp, that hoards the ore to try and make it blow up so they can escape the magic barrier. And the swamp camp, who spend their days smoking weed and worshipping an entity called the Sleeper. What do you think the currency is in this game? These gold coins, maybe? Worthless. How do I know? I picked some up. Thought I could buy a sword, maybe some pants. Nothing. Their in-game value is 0. This is to show that actually the magic ore is everything here. It is money. It's power. It's leverage. And it's probably giving everyone lung cancer. And you're just some guy in a tank top who got sent here with a letter. No weapons, and apparently nothing stopping you from wiping your ass with that wizard's letter. It's So dumb. This is the first enemy I ran into. Some weird-ass lizard just chilling by this bridge. Naturally, I channeled all my Dark Souls combat experience. Hundreds of hours dodging impossible bosses, rolling, slaying gods, parrying alleged baby mamas. That's not my kid. Doesn't even have my face tattoos and beard. Anyways, then I panicked, mashed every button like an expert Mortal Kombat player, ran away like a coward, and got stuck in a rock. Truly peak gameplay. Alright, round 2. I'm ready! Yes, exquisite combat. A true dance of steel and brain damage. Combat, it's pretty basic. If you're running System Pack 1.8 on modern hardware, which, by the way, is the only way I got it working on my PC, is left mouse button, then combine with WASD for different swings. So W /. Allegedly, looks more like I'm shaking my sword, crazy style. A, swing left. D, swing right. And S is block. If you manage to run the game as it is on your machine, then instead of using the left mouse button, you would use Control plus arrow keys. Now, half of your attacks won't land. The other half are a coin toss. Who hits first? Who has more HP? Who's dissociating more that day? Because Gothic doesn't do dodging. Gothic does trading blows until someone dies. Oh, and you rarely fight one enemy at a time. Nah, Gothic gangbangs you. Pack animals, birds, wolves, tax collectors, thirsty cougars when the club is about to close, they will jump you and drain your health instantly. So, your strategy? Either aggro them one by one and pray, or do what I do. Spam jump like a medieval crackhead and try running past all the enemies. Weapon-wielding enemies block almost all of your attacks. The only way to hurt them is to attack during their swing animation, which will still hurt you in some cases. You kinda block sometimes, but you still take damage even if you block successfully. They block and riposte like a samurai. You parry like you're trying to open a jar with wet hands.
I gotta grip it.
Uh-oh, Andrew. If you can't open it either.
Your hand greased the whole top of it. Literally slippery. I'm supposed to open the pickle jar? Grab me a paper towel so I can dry the top of it off.
You're the big strong man. There you go. Come on.
I can't grip the fucker. Like, I gotta have a way to grip it. I gotta grip it. Try it. You fucker. That was bullshit. I'm supposed to open the pickle jar?
If you think armor will save you, I mean, you can probably take a hit more than usual, but here's your starting protection stats. You brought piss to a poop fight, my dude. So, until you get good, you're gonna eat mood, a lot of it. There is also magic in this game, combat-wise, but I wouldn't know how that works. I play games like a real man. I am a heterosexual. I am a Sigma male, sipping the fucking Johnny Walker in the war room by myself with Tristan Tate. Why? Because I've studied, bro. Let's talk mechanics. Gothic doesn't hold your hand. It doesn't even look at you. If you die, that's it. No autosave. Just your ragdoll flopped on the ground like roadkill. Time to reload your last manual save. If you forgot, congrats. You have to do all that shit again. You will be saving every 5 minutes, not because the game tells you to, but because you've developed full-blown Gothic-induced PTSD. One misstep and it's back to the pond. With Diego, the UI is a visual diet. Bare bones, cryptic, and navigated like you're doing surgery with oven mitts. Dialogue is a minefield of vague options that range from yes to yes, but said like a sociopath. You never know if you're asking for directions or threatening someone's family. Sometimes it can be both. Interesting thing, if a monster kills you, you're dead. Time to reload. If a human defeats you though, they just knock you out, steal your ore, maybe call you a broke bitch if you don't have any.
Shit, he hasn't even got any ore on him.
and walk away. You wake up on the floor, broke, confused, and vowing revenge with your last 5 HP. Time to munch on some berries. Speaking of HP, how do you heal? Slowly, badly. You can eat meat and berries and shit, or you can obviously drink health potions, or just sleep it off. Campfires and beds become sacred sites. You see a mattress and suddenly it's your new home. Be careful though, sleeping in someone's hut will aggro them and they will stab you. Leveling isn't just you gain the level. No, it's a side quest. You need XP. Then find a trainer, pay him, and spend learning points like you're trading cigarettes in a prison yard. You want to swing a sword better? Gotta ask Taurus nicely. And bring ore. Always bring ore. Because that's the economy here. No coins, no credit, just magic rocks. Trading feels like bartering in a post-apocalyptic flea market. You give a guy 20 mushrooms and a wolf pelt, he gives you pants. Somehow, this is fair. And yes, there is weather, rain, fog, dramatic lighting. It doesn't affect gameplay, but it sets the mood when you're bleeding out in a ditch, realizing you haven't saved in 30 minutes, and a scavenger just hit you with the divine judgment of God. Gothic is not a fun game. It's not fair, it's not reasonable. It's a broken, beautiful relic from a time when game design was less user-friendly and more hostile wilderness survival. It doesn't want your love. It wants your suffering. And somehow in between the broken hitboxes, sociopathic NPCs, and life or death mushroom economics, it earns it. It's the kind of game that teaches you how to save compulsively, fight defensively, and never trust a man offering swampweed. And when you finally claw your way out of that cursed colony, bloody, underleveled, and emotionally hollow, you'll realize you loved it. Or maybe you just gone insane. Same result. Play Gothic or don't. It doesn't care either way. It was built by angry Germans in 2001, and it's still here. You won't beat it, you survive it. Anyway, if you ask yourself, no, I didn't finish the whole game, obviously, I value my mental health. And also, it kept fucking crashing like it had beef with my GPU. So, if there were any factual errors or lore sins, yeah, my bad. It's my first video. I'll try to do actual research next time. Maybe. If you somehow enjoyed this mess, feel free to like, subscribe, share it with your parole officer, or force it on someone who thinks Gothic is underrated. Thanks for watching. I need a drink.